This is Plarn. It's a hilarious name for plastic yarn made out of plastic bags and other plastics. This was made out of plastic bags that were predominantly white with red and a little bit of black. This is the new Walmart bag, white and blue. I'm missing the black and white. This and this, tablecloths, disposable plastic tablecloths. I got these from a yard sale. Most of the whole point behind Plarn is that you're recycling. But I, being sort of artistic-ish, want to go beyond just the modeled catch-as-catch-can Plarn. I'm trying to be a little more specific and actually make things that look good as well. So when I found these tablecloths still in their packages for 25 cents a piece, I grabbed them up. Now the difference being, well, tablecloths, I can't cut them so that I end up with circular pieces. I end up with pieces that I have to not tie them together to make, you'll see. So I'm going to have sticky outies that I'm going to have to deal with. Who knows, you can make something fun and just leave the ends sticking out. That could be great. But the good thing about the tablecloths, you could go to the Dollar Tree, get them for $1 a piece, in just about any color you can think of, plus stripes and fun things. I don't think this came from Dollar Tree. I think it was a Walmart thing. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to use just maybe some of this as a stripe, an accent, or the whole thing, you do have that option. For making Plarn, you will, of course, need plastic bags. You can use grocery bags, just about any kind of plastic bag. I have found that I'm now enjoying using garbage bags because some of the larger things I've made take such a massive quantity of Plarn. I'm sorry about the rattling, kids. Can't help it. This is a rug. It's kind of all wadded up. This is a rug that I made. It took a massive amount of both regular yarn and my Plarn. And if I had waited to get liquor bags to make it, I would have ended up an alcoholic. A severe, severe alcoholic. So I opted instead to use garbage bags. And I used inexpensive ones, used like the Walmart brand. And it took, I lost count, I think it took 8 of them. But you better count on getting a dozen, just in case. I know it didn't take over a dozen of them for this rug. And I don't know its dimensions. I haven't measured it yet. And it's just where I haven't finished it off yet. I need to tuck those in. That was my finishing end. I'm using the mic that's built into my laptop. And I know this must be horribly loud. Now, if you want to reuse some of yours, your neighbors, your sisters, your mamas, your cousins, everyone's plastic bags that are just polluting the planet and taking up space in everyone's pantry and under their sinks, this is how you make Plarn from these. You start by turning it inside out. Now the reason I've had you turn it inside out is so we can snip the ends, because they're kind of gusseted, and if you just stick your thumb in there, fidget's helping me. You stick your thumb in, it kind of turns it inside out. You see, you have a little corner like that. Stick your scissors in there like that and just kind of get that corner punched in. Now you're going to get your scissors in there and just snip that so that you can open it up. And if it's resisting a little bit there, just snip it again. Do that on both ends. Now your bag should lay out flat. And when you get it smoothed out, you fold it roughly into thirds, smoothing as you go. Try to get it as even as you can on the ends. Now fold it in thirds again. Now the end where the handles are, you can kind of tell where the top of the actual bag part is, okay? Off with its head. that. I like to use this great big bowl. You could use a mixing bowl or a paper bag that you've rolled down, like a grocery bag that you've rolled down. Now, I'm going to take cuts in it that are approximately an inch. Cut these strips like that. Keep cutting, make them as even as you can. There's no need to, mark it off with a pencil or anything like that. Just eyeball it. So if they're too thin, it will break. If it's too thick, it'll be bulky. An inch is just about right. Now, what you end up with are these pieces that, when opened up, are big rings. See? Big ring. Now, there's no need to open them all up at the same time. You can if you want, but I find that I enjoy it more working out of a bowl like this. Alright, I don't know if you saw what I did. Basically took the end, it's kind of bunched up, which makes it easier to handle. Holding it there, got my finger in it there. Tension, again, is the name of the game. I just get one of these and I open it up. Now, here's the part where you really need to see it up close. I'll smooth that whole piece out. Punch it up on the end. It's much easier to work with crocheting and making it like this when it's bunched up. Oh, the piece cut off. And not flat like that, okay? Now, so you see I have these two hoops basically. I'm going to slip one inside of the other. I tend to leave enough room, just enough room for my pinky and my thumb to slip through. You leave too much of a hoop and it's going to be difficult. And then I grab that, you see, and I pull it through. Now, basically what I have is almost like a pretzel. See? And I will pull it. Sometimes you can give it a little bit of a snap to tighten it. You don't have to have it real tight though. Just be careful not to pull. Well, these are pretty sturdy. I've been working with the garbage bags. They tend to really stretch out and sometimes break. That's our first one. See, that's attached to it. See? Now the next thing you have to be careful of, focus please, thing that you really have to be careful of in working with this and putting it together is that you keep these two pieces even, because if you put it all together and then you end up with one that's all baggy and one that's shorter, that's just going to wreak havoc with how your piece looks, and you'll be having to try to stretch this and make it even. So from the knot, pull it like that. So that's all even. You hang on to it good and tight. Reach in. Just focusing on those with it. I've got a breeze coming through the house. It feels great, but it's making my plarning difficult. Okay, one more time. Just slip it through there. Just enough for your finger and thumb to poke through. And grab that. And you can hold on to it about 6-7 inches and give it a little sharp tug, and that will make a good knot. Or you can do it very carefully and tug these individually, or whatever works for you. Just experiment. Sometimes I do a little of both. And keep going, and eventually when you get enough, we're going to make it into a ball. Now when you've got quite a bit put together, I'd say don't put together more than 15 or 20 pieces before you start to make a ball with it, because otherwise it will get all tangled up and cats and kids might get into it, whatever. So when you start to make a ball of yarn, if you've ever done this before, pay attention. 2 fingers. And with this hand, I like to try to go ahead and kind of pinch it and get it to where it's not, flat, tape-like stuff. You'll see as you work with it, you'll kind of get a feel for it. You start wrapping around, and you put a little tension on it. Don't do it all loosey-goosey. Put a little tension there. That also helps to make it more into a yarn instead of just tape. Go around quite a few times, get it pretty chubby, and then take it off your fingers, and then you go the exact opposite. This is how you start. Now, you've gone around maybe 5 or 6 times. You're going to pinch it. You're going to pinch it into a sort of a ball type shape. And this is tough for beginners, but you will get a feel for it. It's going to want to come all undone. And you turn it as you go. I turn mine counterclockwise. I go around. At first maybe just 4 or 5 times, but I like to try to go around at least 6 times, and I turn it. Okay, say this is 12 o'clock. We're looking at the face of the clock. This is 12 o'clock. You turn it to 2 o'clock. Make 2 o'clock at the 12 o'clock position. And you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn. One bag does not make a whole lot. You'll need lots and lots and lots of bags. Now, for the rug, if you're going to make the rug, you're going to need some large trash bags, just black. I'm using, you don't see the brand, but I'm using that Walmart brand. You use whatever you want. This fits my budget, so that's what I use.